a good friend, someone that I love. I can honestly say is someone who I respect. Reached out to me, um, very detailed message, um, fully support of what I say, but he advises me to, I guess, to tone it down was what he was trying to say. Because he expressly mentioned that when I talk about these dumbass beta boy bitches, I sound southern. And my friend is a white southerner, raised in the South, and then he says, but that's offensive, bro. You're offending uh, southern white people in the assumption that you say they're stupid. And it took me aback a little bit because the truth is that's not what that character is. When I talk about this guy, I'm talking about a stupid man. I'm not talking about a southerner. But and here's where it gets interesting. Because I'm raised in the South. I was raised in Miami. Like I've said in other videos, I listened to Lynyrd Skynyrd, Neil Young. I grew up in South Florida where there were no Cubans at the time. So my friends were white Southern Americans. And that accent that comes out, that twang, is authentic. That twang that y'all hear in my voice when I make fun of the morons of the beta boy bitches, which is who I'm making fun of, it's not intended to be at Southern. It is my roots. It is my upbringing. It is my Southern upbringing that comes through in that voice. Because like I keep saying, I represent every American by my DNA. That proves that I'm black, white, Latino, Native, European, African, South American, Central American. I am the American people. And that pride that I am beaming with today for Fernando Mendoza and his family and our Cuban community and the city of Miami for coming up and standing up for democracy. The founding fathers' vision of a nation built on freedom. That's all they wanted. These were detailed, deliberate writers. They wanted a white nation. They would have said, "We the white people." If they wanted a Christian nation, they would have said, "We the Christian people." If those were their intentions. They were not. Their intention was freedom. A nation built on freedom. So you could be a Christian. So you could be white and feel free. And I said it again. That document itself is democracy. Because they weren't all in agreement in assigning percentages to human beings. Some said full rights. We're building a nation on freedom. So every American, every occupant of the land has to be free. The other side said, no way, not at all. We own slaves. We don't want to change that. We're going to continue to own our slaves. So no rights at all. And because they're building a nation on freedom, a democratic nation, they came to that deplorable, horrific compromise that planted the seed of freedom and democracy and built their nation on freedom. So it's not a Christian nation. It's not a white nation. It's a free nation. And that's what we got to get back to. I'm George Delara. I want to be our next president. Not a billionaire, not a millionaire, not a politician. I have zero resources to mount a campaign. I just tried to use promote on TikTok to get more followers, more views, not even followers, just to get more views, and they didn't allow it. They are threatened by my words. They did not allow me to promote because they're saying it's political content. This is for entertainment purposes. There's no campaign. I'm just a free American expressing my freedom of speech to say that I know we the people can do better and assert that it's time for one of us. We've had military leaders, we've had political leaders, we've had actors, we had P.T. Barnum take our presidency. What we've never had is one of us, a regular American, a grandpa, a grandma. I'll say it again, a single mom who raised 3 kids successfully despite her idiot husband. That's leadership. That's overcoming. And that's what we're going to have to do. We have to overcome ignorance and hatred that's been bottled up because this didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen in a vacuum. There have been decades upon decades of relentless GOP attacks on education system throughout red states. I'm in the Midwest. You drive around and you'll see abandoned, closed ruins of what once were schools throughout. Everywhere. From private churches to private schools to public schools to school churches, churches that belong to school, churches that have schools, all shut down. Because the secret of freedom is education. And the secret of tyranny is ignorance. There was a politician named Barry Goldwater. Look it up. In the 60s, he ran for president. And he already was outraged and terrified. And he said the day that these preachers take hold of the Republican Party, and they will, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad because to govern and to lead, you have to compromise. And these people don't believe in compromise because they believe everything they do is the Word of God. Just like the Crusaders did, just like the Inquisitors did, just like the KKK did, just like the Nazis did, and like MAGA, that they all cling to Christianity as their machine gun to destroy people. So we're going to put an end to that. We need love and intelligence. We need the governance of love and intelligence over the governance of ignorance and hatred. And we're seeing it everywhere. The attack on Venezuela. What they're doing in Venezuela is exactly the same thing Putin did to Ukraine. That's what they want to do. They're attacking a sovereign nation on fabricated scenarios. Nazis in Ukraine, fentanyl in Venezuela, for the sole purpose of Putin reunifying the USSR because he wants USSR to reassemble the USSR. And the beta boy bitches who it's about drill, baby, drill. It's about oil. Because they've created a population between the white Christian churches and the GOP, a population that reads at a 2nd, 3rd grade level or lower collectively, if at all. Some don't read at all. So that they can be easily manipulated, pliable to whatever narcissistic religious mumbo jumbo they want to spew. So they know that whatever they say, they're going to swallow. So like I say, I want intelligent America. I want people who understand that we are a democracy, that a constitutional republic is a democracy.